brainwashed, so they don't want to hear the truth. And when the truth is spoken, they ignore it because they think they're already in possession of the truth, the one that was shoved down their throats, or as if what you read or see or hear from any source should be contemplated and should be examined.
Mr. Dan, so we were talking about the concept of God and the belief system. So what do you really think about
Well, we were talking earlier about people's desire to live, 90, 100, 110, 20 years.
Yeah.
So when you go to bed at night and you go into a dream, okay, and you wake up the next morning, you may remember the dream, you may not, but how long do you want to stay in the dream for? Some dreams are good, some dreams are bad, but at the end of the day, you gotta wake up, right? And a dream, what is a dream? It's an illusion, isn't it? It's a creation of your mind. And the fact is that all things are creations of the mind. Even what we call reality is the creation of the mind. And it is an illusion. So, you want to live 90, 100, 120 years? How long do you want to stay in this illusion? You chose this illusion. You chose to come into this existence.
Yeah.
To learn something or to complete a certain task.
Yes.
Once that's done, you leave. You wake up. So, when you die in this physical realm, you actually wake up. So, what is there to fear? Would you go to bed fearful at night that you're going to wake up in the morning? No. Most of the time, you're happy to wake up, or relieved, or you're hungry, or you want to get going. You want your day to get going. Once in a while, I'll have a dream, and I'll wake up, and I want to get back to the dream because it's a really good dream. I have very vivid dreams. Sometimes I'm flying, and that's the best feeling in the world. There's nothing else I would rather do than fly. On my own.
Right.
It's a fantastic feeling.
Yeah,
so that is something I would like to prolong. But in general, I wake up, the dream is over, I know it was a dream, and it just disappears, fizzles away, because it's not real. It was an illusion. So I don't spend the whole day thinking about this dream. Most of the dreams, it's just like a wisp of smoke. They just fizzle away. If it was a nightmare, you might think about it, or if you have repetitive nightmares, you might need counseling or something. But most of the time, most people aren't aware that they had a dream. They could do sleep studies and show that your REM cycle is going a certain way. You're dreaming, whatever your brain activity is, going on. So we know something's going on there. But do you want to stay in that dream forever, or 100 years? No. You want to have the dream, have the experience, and then leave the dream and wake up into your true reality. So when we go to bed at night, we have this dream, illusion. We wake up into what we think is this true reality. But in fact, this is not the true reality. The true reality is in a non-physical state. So when you die and you lose this physical body, you then re-enter your true higher reality, which is all reality emanates from the non-physical. Nothing can exist without first having been thought of. And what are thoughts? They're non-physical. So, this obsession with living longer and longer and longer, it's like, you want your dream to be longer and longer and longer. But don't you have to wake up and go about your day and get things done? And, you've accomplished what you came here for? Move on. So, and people hearing this will recognize that that's the truth. Something's not the truth when it has to be shoved down your throat.
Okay. Or
Or threatened with fear. You're going to go to hell forever. Or sold to you at a very high price. It's got to be the truth because it costs a lot. Or given to you by someone who's smarter or has more wisdom than you. No. That's not the truth. The truth, there's many sayings about the truth. One of which is the truth shall set you free. To thine own self be true. The truth resides within. It's not an external thing. And you were created in the image of God. And what is God? God is truth. God is creator. And because we're made in that image, we are also creators. And how do you create? You create with your thoughts. Again, nothing can exist in the physical form without first having been thought of. So the first step in creation is thinking. You got to think of something first. Like this couch I'm sitting on. it just didn't appear by itself. It was created. And before it was created physically, it had to have been thought of. Yeah, and then there are multiple steps in between. You got to draw a sketch of it. You have the idea. Oh, I think I'll invent something that I can sit on. And it's a good idea. So then you go through various steps.
Okay.
You make a design. You get all the materials that you need together. You put it together, physically put it together, and then voila, you have a couch. But that couch came from thought.
All right.
And nowhere else.
So you mean cause and effect, right? So the effect is the couch,
yes,
and the cause was somewhere else. But the thing is, what is that ultimate cause? Where you go back to your roots.
Well,
so
that's a frequently asked question people have.
Yes.
About, if there's a God, or where did that come from? Yeah?
Yes.
Well, that's foolish, okay? Because in this physical state that you exist in now, you have to start from a position of humility. You cannot know all things, but you can know some things, and you can possess the truth without knowing the whole of the truth. So, for example, a shadow. You cast a shadow across the couch.
Yeah.
You can see my hand, but if I'm standing here, I'm just seeing the shadow. I'm not seeing the hand behind me. I'm still in possession of the truth, and the truth is that something is casting that shadow. That's your truth. Yeah. And you may see the silhouette or outline of that thing. Like right now, you can see my hand, the shadow of my hand.
Yeah. But
I'm not seeing the hand. The hand's up here, but I can still see a shadow. And by seeing the shadow, you come into possession of the truth. That there is something that's causing that shadow. And that's all you're ever going to know. You're not going to know any more than that until you reach a higher state of consciousness. You leave this physical form, and then you see, I see the hand. That's what's causing. So we live in a shadow world. It's the three-dimensional physical reality we refer to as reality is actually a projection from a higher plane onto a four-dimensional or five-dimensional reality onto a three-dimensional plane. So a projection is an illusion. It's not the thing itself. Something back here is creating the projection. The thing that's real is back here. You can't see it because it's not physical. Okay? And so real, true reality exists in a non-physical form. This is a temporary illusion. And all things physical, as any scientist will tell you, exist in a permanent state of entropy, meaning something that is organized and finite tends to dissipate over time. It's an energy dispersion.
All right.
But the energy is still there.
So what message would you have for our friends because they're listening to you?
Are they?
Yes.
How much are they paying? Just a joke.
Yeah.
Hopefully a lot. What the message is, think for yourself. Don't listen to me and take that to be the truth. The truth, when you hear the truth, and your mind is free of clutter and free of the deception and the brainwashing that we've all been put through, principally starting with religion, but also culture, education, lots of factors go into the brainwashing. Not always is it malevolent or intentional. Your parents, when they raised you, perhaps they were doing the best they could from what they learned from their parents and so on and so on. So it doesn't make them bad, but it's not the truth. So we're all born with the innate ability to recognize the truth when we hear it. In fact, you already possess the truth. It doesn't have to be given to you or sold to you or shoved down your throat. You are already in possession of it. It's just a matter of uncovering it. The truth shall set you free, as I said earlier. And it resides within you. When the New Testament, Christ says the kingdom of God is within you, well, that's what he's referring to. It's not outside of you. It's not over there somewhere. It's already here. You already possess it. So anything that's physical, you can never possess, because it's going to deteriorate. It's going to dissipate. It's going to turn into dust. And the more you try to possess something, whether it's a physical thing or another person, it's
even the God itself in the physical form.
Yes. In fact, you are God and nothing less than that.
Okay.
So if you're taught that you're nothing, you're born a sinful creature.
What do you call about then faith? Like, because some people say there's no harm in taking the route of the faith and having the faith because the faith guides you. You know.
Well, faith can be a very dangerous thing. and it can be a very benign thing. In the Middle Ages, Crusaders had faith that they were doing God's work by killing Muslims and Jews. But would you say that's a good faith to have? No. So you gotta look at the intention and the result. So there are many well-intentioned people when they express their faith or their beliefs, but intention alone doesn't make something good.
Okay.
But a good intention is certainly a good start. But then you have to look at the result. And let's look at the last 5,000 years of American, not just American, I mean, civilizations.
Yeah.
Come and go.
Yes.
They're all gone now. They're all the Roman Empire and so on, Egyptians. Those empires have already, collapsed. And the American Empire is about to collapse, FYI. Those are fleeting things. So, I'm sort of losing my track now, but.
No, it's so you said like look out for yourself, find your own truth.
Yeah, you should always be engaged in critical thinking.
Okay.
Which means if what you read or see or hear from any source should be contemplated and should be examined in a critical way. Like take it, question it, take it apart. Is this true?
Yes.
And do your own research. Often something, if it's really the foundational truth, you already know it. So when you hear it, it's like, oh, well, yeah, of course. You don't need to research any further because you're breathing air. Do you need to research that? No. You might want to take a science class and what is the air made of, but you know you're breathing, and there's no effort in breathing. Your body automatically does it. So, and that's the truth, right? That wasn't so hard. So, the truth is often resonates, and you often recognize it when you hear it, if you're not totally brainwashed. Unfortunately, many people are completely and totally brainwashed, so they don't want to hear the truth, and when the truth is spoken, they ignore it because they think they're already in possession of the truth, the one that was shoved down their throats or inculcated.
Conditioning?
Yeah, conditioning, sure.
Yeah.
But you don't need it. You were born with the innate ability to know the truth. That's a God-given right. You were born with the intelligence, rational and logical thinking to discern the truth. You don't really need to have faith. Once you come into possession of the truth, faith is like hope. It can be valuable, it can be good, but it's a stepping stone from ignorance to knowledge. In between, you hope that you can obtain a knowledge, or you have faith that what you're pursuing is true, but you still have to get to the truth, and that requires you to dispose of faith and dispose of hope. Hope can be a dangerous thing. You can spend your whole life on hope. Hope is a stone in the middle of a stream that takes you from despair to joy, or whatever. It's a transitional thing. Yeah. So you want to step on hope lightly and quickly. You want to get off of it. You don't want to keep holding on to hope, because that's going to get you. I hope I win the lottery. I hope I win the lottery. Well, you're not going to win the lottery. Chances are. The chances of winning the lottery are infinitesimally small. So it's like millions to one. Somebody somewhere does win the lottery, but more than likely it's not going to be you. So don't spend a lot of time thinking about, I'm going to win the lottery. Okay, that's just a wisp of a hope. Not going to happen. Okay.
But interrupting you here, I would say about hope, like you see me here right now.
Yes.
I would have not been here if I did not have hope.
Well, you had aspirations. Aspirations and hope are different things.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Or hope is. Would you say that ambitions or aspirations?
Yeah.
Hope.
It may start with hope, but ambitions, goals are all things that that have more of a foundation in desire and logical thinking. Hope is like a wispy, sort of ephemeral thing that says, "Oh, I hope it doesn't rain today." Often it's not something in your control. It's like a dream. Like, oh, I hope everything's right. Okay, you can hope all you want, but that's not going to make it happen. But so you have to have dreams and aspirations, goals. That's what's going to make it. The drive. So hope is, again, like I said before, it's a good thing to have. It's just a stone to step on to get you somewhere else. And same is true with faith. Sometimes you have to have faith to get you to truth. It's something in between. But it can also be a very dangerous thing. You can spend your whole life having faith in something at the end of the day has no substance in reality, has no basis in reality, and in fact is the opposite of what you find out to be true. So be careful with faith. A lot of religions, of course, rely entirely on faith, the suspension of logical and reasonable thinking. That Jesus was the born of a virgin. An angel came down and somehow impregnated Mary, and he was the Son of God. Maybe there was a Jesus, probably there was a Jesus, who lived in a certain time period, and there are not many historical records of him, however. And most people don't know this, but the New Testament, of which there are many chapters, the first chapter of the New Testament was written 80 years after the death of Christ. 80 years! There was no newspapers, there was no computers, so it was word of mouth, more or less. 80 years of word of mouth getting passed down before it got written down. And even then, written in a language that then had to be translated, and then had to be translated again, and translated again into different languages. And each time it got translated, it passed through the mind of an individual or a group of people who might have had certain ideas of their own, and sort of formed the next passage of that translation, and perhaps something was lost in the translation, intentionally or otherwise. So I don't have a lot of faith in the word for word translation of the Bible, whether it's in Greek or Latin or English. But there are wonderful, fantastic concepts expressed in the New Testament, and I have three of them right off the top of my head. That's all you need. Okay, so let's start with do unto others as you would have done to yourself. That's the golden rule, and that sort of covers everything. It really does. So it's the truth is often very simple, not complicated. You don't need a scientist or a priest to figure it out for you. It's not beyond your reach. No, it's within your reach because it's within you. And often it's very simple. So do unto others as you have done to yourself. Judge not others, lest you yourself be judged. So don't be pointing your finger at your neighbor when you gotta clean your own house, okay? And lastly, whatsoever thou hast sown, so shall you reap. Meaning, whatever you think, whatever you do, whatever you say, whatever your actions are going to come back to you. So if you think, do and say bad or evil things, self-serving things, it's just a matter of time before that's going to come bouncing back at you. So that's not good, is it? No, that doesn't serve you. So if you're from a very pragmatic approach, almost one could say selfish, if you do and think and act in a kind and generous and thoughtful way, one that comes from your heart, not from some devious plan that you have, that is going to be returned to you. So why wouldn't you behave in that manner? Why wouldn't you treat others in a kind and compassionate way? Not always easy, I'm not going to sit here and say I can do that 24/7, but I will tell you that it's the very foundation of who I am in this life. That's who I am. Yeah. Those three tenets I just spoke about, that is basically who I am. I strive for that every day, and I strive to be a better person as going forward. Yeah, I have my flaws. I like to call them attributes. So everybody has attributes. Some of them can be viewed as negative, and some of them are positive. I'm impatient. Okay, I'm an impatient person. I admit it, and that's not going to change. Okay, I'm 65. I'm not going to suddenly become a patient person. Okay, so I've always been this way, and now impatience can be, I find, a good thing because I get stuff done. I'm impatient. I want to get done. Problem is that because I'm impatient, I get stuff done in a hurry, and sometimes I mess up or I forget something in my hurry to get something done because I'm impatient. So that's a lesson to be learned from one of your attributes. There can be some negative side effects. I am kind. Isn't that a good thing? Well, that can sometimes backfire or have bad effects because there are people out there that will take advantage of your kindness. So the trick with kindness is to learn how to dispense it in a manner that doesn't hurt you. Okay, your kindness to others shouldn't be hurting you. It may cost you money or time, but it shouldn't be inimical to you. And there are people or situations that can be harmful to you because if you're seen as kind, generous. It makes you vulnerable. So there are people out there that will take advantage of that. But that's always going to be the case. But don't let that change who you are fundamentally. If you're a good person, then keep being a good person. Just develop the smarts or the awareness that there are circumstances and people that may not receive your goodness in the way you wish it to be expressed. So so we all have those features or characteristics or attributes. Just learn how to use them. And now, I find it very difficult to believe that there are people who are evil, bad, ill-intentioned in the world, because that's not how I see the world. I see the world through my own eyes. And so I tend to be somewhat naive, Pollyanna, in some ways. I see the world as a good, kind place. But it's not. Not entirely, anyway. So you have, again, it's about being aware of your surroundings and the people and the culture you live in, and being able to navigate that and still be true to yourself. Still be a good person and still show others kindness. Yeah. Not without getting trounced upon, though. Someone cannot walk all over you unless you lie on the ground. Is that not true? So it takes two.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Dan. Like, as you said,
that was a lot, but
you have to strive for, your, what you said, all those 3 points you've been talking about, being kind and considerate and having those flaws. You have to strive every day. So thank you so much for taking this time and talking to our friends.
Okay,
it's really meaningful.
I look forward to it.
I'm glad we did it. And we'll cover some other topics. We were not really prepared today, so
this is just impromptu, off the cuff.
Yeah,
so, but sometimes if you plan something too much, it gets stiff and it doesn't flow.
Yeah,
so sometimes it's good to just extemporaneously talk, because then it takes you in directions that you weren't expecting, and that's where you discover things and you take turns that. At first you're not sure, but then this took me to a good place. So
thank you, Mr. Dan.
You don't want to be too scripted.
Yes, thank you, and we'll meet you again. Thanks.
All right, good night, folks.
Bye.